Welcome to my research presentation of Does Peer Mentoring Help First-Time Freshmen Be Successful? My name is Ernest Villalpando. This presentation is my research methods project for my degree in interdisciplinary studies. Problems in the U.S. The research activity is a result in the need for students to connect with university to be successful in college. Retention and graduation rates are vital for our country's success. The United States continues to fall further behind in supplying a workforce that has a college education. Further jobs in the United States will require a workforce that does have a college degree. Without better graduation rates, the U.S. will continue to export jobs or import qualified labor force from other countries. The Leave the No Child Behind, as well as the Closing the Gaps initiative in Texas, shows that degree attainment is required in order for the U.S. to compete in the ever-changing global market. Across the nation, the number of people enrolling in college is not keeping pace with this growing population. With college enrollment not keeping pace, it places more value on retaining those that do enroll into college. As the university continues to become more diversified and the minority population continues to grow, we must focus on the underrepresented population to gain the educated workforce needed to regain our dominance. The Hispanic population is the fastest growing in the United States. In Texas, as well as several other states, they are quickly on pace to becoming the majority. Yet Hispanics are the ethnicity with the lowest degree attainment in the nation. As you will see on the next slide, Hispanics have less than a 15% graduation rate of those that attend a four-year institution. Foster care youth. This is a group that is constantly being ignored and typically do not enroll into any institution of higher learning. Because of their rough upbringing, most will struggle to graduate from high school. Of those that do earn strong marks, the loss of support actually forces them to go straight into the workforce. Unless they work with a well-informed caseworker, most will never realize that there are programs that will help pay for college after they graduate from high school. Low socioeconomic background and first-generation college students, they tend to have the same issues. Both lack the informed support of someone that has gone to college before them. Therefore, they struggle to complete their college and financial aid applications. In fact, many will not ever take the SAT or ACT simply because they are not aware of the financial assistance they qualify for. Many don't realize that they actually will qualify for a fee waiver and can take the exam without any cost. Luckily, there are many college access programs that focus on assisting students on the college application process. These programs do a great job in getting them to college, which has helped. In fact, an increase in number of underrepresented students attending college are much higher, but they do stop at that point. Educational attainment. This slide demonstrates the dire need for student support services in college. In Texas, we are getting students into college at a decent rate. The problem is that it's not until you look at the graph that states bachelor's degree earned that the percentage becomes evident that we are not graduating our students. Although more Hispanics and blacks are attending college, we see that the percentage of those completing a degree is in the low teens. And even within the Anglo population, which tends to be the most successful, they are still only graduating just under 25%. Support services. There are several student services that most universities already have been implemented. Examples are going to include first-year experience, whether it's a course or a program, supplemental instruction, foster care services, as well as bridge programs. All have been described as successful and have been around for decades, yet the retention rate from year 1 to year 2 is 65.2% in 2002 based on the National College Retention. So why are students not more successful? Most students, especially those at risk and underrepresented, just simply do not understand what these services are, nor do they know how to take advantage of them. I reviewed studies of each type of program to see which of each service has to offer their students. The desired result is that with peer mentoring, they can tie in all the pertinent services together based on their mentees' needs, and therefore they can get them to the appropriate programs in order to be successful. Why peer mentoring? Peer mentoring programs have been implemented in the United States and throughout the world for decades. Mentees don't always show better results in the coursework, but do report a better connection with the university. There have not been enough studies to show whether they have a better success rate than those that did not have a mentor. Most benefits reported are indirect results. Students are less stressed about college, they feel more confident, and they are more likely to be involved. The fact that their mentors are close in age also helps mentees confide in them and build a healthy relationship. The mentors are not tutors, but a source of information that bridges their mentees to the necessary resources. Need for the study. Funding for universities and colleges are being based on retention and degree attainment. One study stated that in 2007, the national average in retention from year 1 to year 2 was 68.7%. This means that 31% are not coming back to school. As we look into the President's call to get an educated workforce, we are continuing to fall behind. As a nation, best practices in student services need to be determined. Most studies do not focus on how well the mentees do in their academic course load and only measure the indirect effects. As there is limited funding, if any at all, mentoring programs must show results for universities to make that monetary commitment. Peer mentoring. At Texas State, the peer mentoring program is funded by the University College and Title V. Title V is a federally funded grant that is awarded to Hispanic-serving institutions to improve student success. Within our mentoring program, over 2,500 first-time freshmen participated in the 2013 and 14 academic year, while 48 peer mentors served those participants. The ratio is pretty large. Peer mentors. The peer mentors were paid undergraduate students that have earned at least a 3.0 GPA and have a junior or senior standing. During the interview process, the applicant must demonstrate their knowledge of the university and leadership and mentoring skills. Those selected will undergo an intense training that meets the College Reading and Learning Association, as well as the International Peer Mentoring Training Certificate. All mentors are required to earn the master level certification by the end of their first year. The master level requires an additional training and mentoring contact hours throughout the year. In addition, mentors are required to attend biweekly meetings to discuss any concerns, successes, and strategies. Their main focus is to connect and inform their mentees about the available resources. This is based on individual needs and is not a roundabout way of tailoring the resources. It is geared specifically towards what each mentee needs. Mentees. The mentees are any first-time freshmen, and any first-time freshman can participate. Although those that are identified as expected to earn a low GPA are personally invited to participate. The emphasis is gained towards the at-risk student. Expected low GPA students are identified by an admissions report that utilizes their ACT, SAT scores, high school class ranking, as well as their demographics. Expected low GPAs range from 1.47 to 2.13 for the upcoming year. Study. The questions asked are: Research question 1. Does peer mentoring increase the GPA earned? Research question 2. Is there any increase in retention from freshman year to sophomore year? Data. Data shows that 40% of the freshman class participated in the mentoring program. That is significant, as this is the largest freshman class that Texas State had in its all-time history. The end GPA of those served scored 0.60 points less than the students that did not participate. This data is promising, as the students are interested in getting supportive services. They have shown an interest in their degree attainment by seeking advice from someone that has proven to be successful in college. These students have recognized that it is okay to seek out assistance in hopes of finding the answers to their questions. This does not mean that those who choose not to participate do not care. It just means that they're okay with navigating the college experience on their own, and in many cases already have a support system in place. They are the students that have been deemed low risk and can be successful without any intervention, as exemplified by their 3.25 average GPA. Now, those students that did participate did score lower, but keep in mind that those students most likely have the need for additional support and probably most likely would have scored less, a lower GPA if they would not have participated. Expected low GPA. Data from the students identified as at risk with an expected low GPA. This list compiled utilizing the student's class rank and standardized test scores and high school GPA. The list has a range of 1.47 to 2.13 GPA for the year. Based on the overall numbers, one could assume that mentoring did not make an impact since these students did not participate, earned a GPA that was 0.11 points higher than those that did participate. Expected low GPA receiving services. The data shows that the average expected GPA for those receiving services in the fall was a GPA of 2.05. After the spring semester, all those participants earned a 2.13 GPA. This is a 0.08 points higher GPA than expected. This is very important as we look to see, was the program successful? This is progress, especially when you see that some of the students were not expected to earn the minimum 2.0 GPA to stay off probation or suspension. The data also showed a drop in GPA from fall to spring. Those on the expected low GPA list were taking development courses that fall, which are not for credit. Those developmental courses will help them in the future, but impact their choices of classes in the spring semester. Therefore, taking courses in areas that are not the student's strengths, like math or science, impacts the spring grades regardless of what type of intervention has been had. The overall increase in GPA is definitely a success. By not earning a 2.0, students would not be able to attend in the fall and potentially never return after suspension is lifted. In fact, 63% of the students that participated returned for their fall 2014 semester. Those returners also have an average GPA of 2.35. and are poised to build on their first-year success. In conclusion, I would like to thank Dr. Eichler, Mr. Edminio Ibanez, and the peer mentors that have worked hard to make the first-year experience a positive one for our freshmen. Please feel free to contact me at ev1032@txstate.edu with any questions and feedback. I look forward to your responses.